Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play HOI4 Kaiserreich in South Africa. Let's continue on from where we last left off. So, we're currently trying to repeal the Industrialization Consolidation Act. People are not very happy with that. The Boers are not happy, the Socialists are not happy, but by golly, by the end of this we will overcome. The ICUX! The military reinforcement of the police indeed succeeded at stopping the socialist advance. But unlike what the government had hoped, the strikers dug in and refused to surrender, despite the seemingly hopeless situation. For about 10 days, the gridlock remained, and suddenly a devout socialist plan was revealed too late. The Industrial and Commercial Work Union, an interracial native-led trade union with a strong influence on the rural parts of South Africa, firstly declared their support for the strikers, and native rioters rose everywhere. Confiscated guns from white farmers they work for. I don't think we screwed this up. I think we can still come back from this. Okay, but native rioters rose up everywhere, confiscating gun from their white farmers they work for, liberating their large numbers and overrunning armed depots of the UDF. These impromptu rebels then hit a coordinated sanitaire set up by the Union Defense Force around Johannesburg, the Rand, and the rebel parts of the Cape Town and Durban, leaving them trapped between the strikers and the rebels. And a disorganized friendly, large part of the government forces were forced to surrender or defect to rebel forces as the odds of socialist takeover being complete materialized furthered by the hour. Again, I don't think I've messed this up. I have messed it up. Okay, so we're going to reload one of my previous save games. So excellent way to start this off. We'll go back to here. So this time, instead of just waiting around, we'll force the issue with the strikers. It's going to lead to a lot of dead people, but it will lead to our country not going through a revolution, which is kind of what, more or less, what I'm trying to get here. So immediate military response. So excellent. So I accidentally went down a socialist path without actually even meaning to do so. Okay, the Battle of Mayfair. Early in the morning, some 20,000 troops of the UDF poured into Johannesburg on the orders of Jan Smuts. The full use bombing runs by the Air Force, the strikers were quickly driven back until they dug in Johannesburg's suburb of Mayfair. A bloody fight was the result, and the end of it was more than 350 strikers lay dead and at least 60 UDF troops. Following the battle, a significant amount of strikers dispersed, and later within days, order was restored into most of the Rand. Following the news of the Brewer massacre at Mayfair, the strikers in Durban and Cape Town also dispersed without further violence. The crisis is under control, but these events will likely go down as a dark page in South African history. Okay, so I mean a few hundred people had to die. But that's okay, we're still coming out on top. We'll subsidize metal. We are currently at 28% unemployment. We have 2 million South African pounds. Implement tariffs. Unemployment goes down. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's get some tariffs there. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad for us. We have 4 million pounds. That's a lot of money, but potentially. Abandon gold standard gives you political power. Borrow money and raise taxes. So those just give us more money. And to be honest, I don't think money is really what we're hurting for. We just need... What do you need? Not conservative, not liberal. Inflation is more than 5%. Nationalized major company needs more money, which we can't do because we're conservative. So the conservatives seem like they have less options for dealing with Black Monday. Maybe stuff through here will get that working for us. The Regiment of Stone hits Nesprut. The new iteration of the Regiment of the Stone Gang has emerged from their parent Drakensberg hideout once again, this time in Nesprut, where they hit a local train station, a key stopover on the line between Johannesburg and the port of Laronco Marks in Mozambique, and made off with the valuables held for keep safe there. Once again, police are powerless to prevent the evidently well-planned escape into the bush in the south of the town. Disturbingly, it appears that the gang was already growing numbers since their heist in Ermelo, and disturbingly, we're in the town of Barbertown, where Nazgul was incarcerated on a rape charge. It's only some 20 miles away from Nesprut. Police theorize that it is the gang's intention to break him out. Others disagree and point out this would be too obvious, and that the two successful heists in combination with smaller robberies underway have already netted the group a such amount of wealth. One more successful heist would likely procure monetary means for the group to disappear forever. In modern times, with resources like automobiles and airplanes, it seems implausible that a gang would remain at large for as long as the previous gangs have. Therefore, they propose an attack on Barbertown that would be a large risk following their existing achievements, and instead point to the town of Lindenburg as the next target. Some don't agree with this proposal, however, and expect the gang will aim to leave South Africa by entering Portuguese East Africa as soon as possible. As the route of movement from Ermelo to Nesprut suggests, If they could correctly estimate the next moves, they might be able to entrap them. You know, I have a feeling we're going to go and make sure they can't break that one guy out of prison. I feel like that might be the right way on this. But I'm not too sure what the penalties for actually failure are for this event chain. It might not be anything bad, but we'll see. Inflation. Right now it's inflation at 0%. And I'm hoping we'll probably get some decisions. Maybe again through you. I mean, softens the color bar. That might help us out at least a little bit with dealing with our current economic woes. Okay, basic machine tools is done. Go for concentrate industry 1 right afterwards. Do you give us 0.02 political power per day for 180 days? Is what? I think that's like 3 political power or something like that. Next, we're gonna do a calculator. What is 180 times 0.02? It's 3.6 political power. I'm guessing probably the events that you get is more substantial because, I mean, like that's kind of garbage. By the way, do we turn off Fog of War? We haven't. There we go. That's 3.6 political power, which doesn't help us in any meaningful way. The Barbertown breakout. Excellent news! Our estimation that the regiment of the Stone Gang would attempt to free the former leader, Nangaluzula, was correct. If the South African police had not been there to assist the prison wardens, they might have well succeeded. But instead, they were entrapped. A shootout which they clearly could be heard from Barbertown itself ensued, until a large part of the gang was deceased and the remainder wisely decided to surrender. Law-abiding South African citizens need not fear these men anymore, nor was Nangoza given the opportunity to escape, although there's little indication he was conspired with the gang. The gang members who surrendered are guided our official to their hidden encampment, some 4 miles from the prison, where they have recovered most of the stolen goods and money from a Merlo and Nesprit heist. Political power, a little bit of stability, all those are quite nice for us. So next up, is when are our elections? Our elections are in May of 38, so we still got quite a ways away until that's ready to go. So let's attract some Canadian investment. Are we not in it? No, okay, we are in a faction with Canada. Excellent. Soften the color bar. Unemployment goes down by 2%. Political power gain goes down by 1.5, which is substantial, but as long as we're still gaining political power, I think we should be okay. Also, I'm not too sure when unemployment is no longer going to be a factor for us. Like when Black Monday goes away. Opportunities for unemployment. You need it below 16%. You need it below 12%. So once we're below 8%, we can say that we've solved Black Monday. Okay, I mean, that seems reasonable. Right now we're at 24%. And we need, what, 16 for you? I mean, that is still quite a ways away. Okay, New Zealand crisis. I'm not too worried about Australia being syndicalist. I don't think it's going to make a big change for us one way or the other. Because if they stay socialist, they'll join the International, yes. But really, that's mostly just going to affect probably Dutch East Indies and German East Asia in a war against them. Assuming what Dutch East India does. Because they could also theoretically go socialist and join the International, which wouldn't be great. But Australia is pretty isolated. New Zealand's now in the Entente. Okay, which means that I was going to say that we're going to be dragged into a war, but we're not, because we still have our one modifier here, which is, yeah, the Wavering Dominion. I'm guessing at some point we will get rid of that. Depends on whether or not we go... Well, this is if we go pro-Boer, which I don't think we're going to do. We're going to try to stay Entente aligned. Okay, Finland fell. They are now authoritarian democratic. Should remain pro-Germany. What about you guys? I mean, Sweden. They're both still viable to go socialist. We don't know which way either of them are going. Same with most of you, really. It's hard to really say right now. I mean, it's still like mid-36. Mid-36 is not far enough into the game to really be able to dictate the pace in which countries will flip to socialist or, you know, flip to being pro-Germany, pro-Entente, what have you. Okay, Poland's got a new king. 37. Radio's already researched for free. Might as well take the 1918 weapons now. And Poland has gone... Augustine. Is that German? No. Oh, it's the Polish king. Okay. Which actually, I feel like I don't feel like you don't see the Polish king that often. Usually they go German or Austria or have like a military coup in the government. What do we have in here? Do we have anything good? Actually, none of these really make sense for us right now. Also, why are you 62? That's a very weird price. Oh, no, because it's plus 25%. Normally, I think it would be worth 50. Okay. Division attack plus 10%. Organization plus 4. You're just a lot of daily gain. You know what? I'll take that daily gain. Just so we can get our doctrines up a little bit faster. We can't get you done right now, so let's go for 1 research slot. Canadian investment. Does that do anything for us here? They've rejected the investment. Okay, thank you very much. The Canadian exile governments have rejected our request for additional imperial investments to relieve the effects of Black Monday. When them, we have only ourselves to blame for economic hardship. Well, fuck you too, Canada. Like, like, why are you being such a dick? That's fine. It's fine. Wait, the Dublin Olympics? I feel like I've never seen Dublin host the Olympics. Maybe I'm mistaken on that. Okay, Indochina declared independence. Algeria has been shelled, and there's Venel coup in Bulgaria. Okay, the Moshana by-election. When South Rhodesia entered the Union, General Smuts had hoped to recruit its English-speaking settlers to the South African Party against the Afrikaner nationalists. This did not materialize, however. Of the 4 constituencies in the province, 3 have reliably gone to the Rhodesian Party, and since 33, also the Reform Party, which agitates for leaving the Union. Instead, since its incorporation. The only exception was Mashuland, the rural east part of southern Rhodesia, is contingently also already the most pro-union in the province. Has finally been wrestled away by the SAP in 1933. As a result, the separatist vote being split between the Reform Party and the Rhodesia Party. However, in January, the representative, Sir Raleigh Grey, passed away, necessitating a by-election. Of course, the Reform Party and Rhodesia Party again eyed for the constituency. As the Labour Party, the SAP will not let go of their only Rhodesian seat in the Volksraad without a fight. Apparently you guys are market liberal. You're both no, okay, you're both market liberal. Anyways, we're gonna go for the SAP, because again, we're gonna go down the conservative route for this campaign. Thing is, we have all this money, and I don't really know if we have anything to spend it on. Because you can only do after Black Monday. We can get you going and get South Africa's gold going. But after that, I guess we actually have to worry about our military policy, which is kind of not what I was expecting. Yeah, but again, at least until we can get this stuff lowered. Maybe after 11 days, we can click another button here, gets us down to 22%. Or maybe it gets a little bit faster, like it's 2% the first time, then it's 4%. Then maybe it's 8%, I don't know, but we'll kind of have to wait and see on that one. Let's see, 5 days on you. You don't do anything for our inflation problems. The IEDC, I'll do 50 points. I'll do 50 political power there, and I want you 1% construction speed or factory output. You gotta go factory output. I think it's always the best option for you. Okay, 2 million pounds for an extra 2%. Absolutely will do it. Go 2 million pounds in the bank in case we need to... Well, we need to get more stuff going. Okay, the Empire Exhibition. I don't think this is really... Oh, no, this is a different event. Okay. In most of the world, the British Empire, the undisputed power dominating the international scene in the 19th century and the opening years of the 20th, is but a fading memory. Not so in the upper echelons of Johannesburg society, where men in red garments still speak about their exploits on the 5 continents with one another on the employment of a gin tonic supplied by the Zulu servant. Following 2 years of preparation, the Empire Exhibition, celebrated in the city of Johannesburg's Golden Jubilee, has been open to great festivities. The exhibitions both boast our achievements in the last half century, include representatives from most of what remains of the Empire, from Canada and the Caribbean to Australasia and its Pacific extension. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think Australia is going to be involved in this process. While the atmosphere is nostalgic and unmistakable, the celebration takes away from the talks about liberation and politics holding grip in our country and shows that the Empire is still as alive as ever. Thanks for the stability. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have high hopes for... Actually, no, you know, I do have high hopes for us being able to reclaim Britain. Not really from our perspective. Like, of course, when you're playing South Africa, you're really playing any of the minor countries. Your options for main involvement are somewhat limited, for sure. Can I build any more units? So right now we have the command garrison. The command garrisons, I'm pretty sure, kind of garbage. Actually, let me go here. Occupy territories. You're cheaper, we'll go with you. What is the infantry template? I mean, they're not bad. And then light infantry template is also kind of garbage. Okay. But if I was to get all of these units to switch over to infantry template 1, we don't have infantry equipment, we don't have support equipment, but I think that's kind of okay. How do we really have no guns? How many guns do we build right now a day? 6. I mean, okay, it's pretty bad. Like, it's not good at all. But we are gonna, like I said, we're gonna be playing mostly a supporting role as South Africa. And my guess is we're mostly gonna help invade France via Algeria, and then push away into Britain right afterwards. And we don't really worry about Russia because, again, we're in the Entente. Entente and the Russians really don't interact in any meaningful way. So can we do anything here yet? We're at 22%. Inflation's reduced. We don't care about that. We don't care about you. And we can't do you because we're not one of those right options. So Stellenbosch or Witwatersrand. While in some other countries, the proposal to extend state grants to universities may be considered an uncontroversial act, South Africa has never been like other countries. The debate that has appeared in the Volksraad is not one of whether the grant should be extended at all. On that, both the government and the opposition benches are in broad agreement. The merits of the stronger university systems are being apparent to most. Instead, the controversy concerns which university these grants would go to, and in many ways reflect the main political divide of the day. Nationalized being the university insisted that lion's share of the funding go towards the Universiteit Stellenbosch, or the Stellenbosch University, alongside the University of Cape Town. Stellenbosch is the oldest university in sub-Saharan Africa, both institutions being granted full status on the same day in 1918. As such, it carries a level of prestige that is hard to match elsewhere in the country. It's certainly the highest profile one in South Africa. It also teaches almost exclusively in Afrikaans, and is something of an intellectual hub for the National Party. Many national members got their degrees from Stellenbosch, and the university is a symbol of pride for many of the more educated and more nationalist-minded Boers. Meanwhile, the SAP has been expressing desire to reform the University of Witwatersrand instead, although certainly not as classic as the Cape Town and Stellenbosch universities. The University of Witwatersrand is certainly a unique institution. Founded by the SAP's Liberal Deputy J.H. Hommeyer, Witwatersrand has gone in a essentially more innovative and progressive direction. Homeyer's stand as an educator is that universities should be open to all, and under his influence, Witwatersrand has become a mixed-race institution and is closely associated with Homeyer's SAP. With national representatives arguing that the money should go to establish a distinctly South African institution in Stellenbosch, and most, though not all, SAP representatives being more partial to funding the less developed Witwatersrand, the government must decide which way to push. I mean, again, we want conservative support. I don't know if this really does anything else. But I mean, we get a free tech slot. We're going to go for the 1936 rifles. I think that seems like a completely reasonable choice here. And we can't really do anything with you. We're at 20%. We need to get you down to 16% to unlock our next option. So after this, we go for military expansion. And we want to do Doctor or only we want to go for the British Legacy. Both are a reduction in land, heavy armor, mechanized, motorized, go become cheaper, local arms, better rely. So you're basically tanks or I'm assuming infantry. True specialization, artillery bonuses, naval doctrine, max naval protection range is kind of garbage. And then we're probably gonna go with Doctrine of our own, just because the British is mostly, I mean, it's heavily naval based. How many, actually, here's the thing, how many boats do we have? We have 11 ships. We'll assign an admiral. 3 dreadnought and World War I era. Like, our navy actually sucks. So we really shouldn't be too concerned with trying to upgrade it. And our air force does not exist. Okay, that also might prove to be an issue going into things. So Greece joined the Belgrade Pact, not a big surprise. Romania joined the Belgrade Pact, and we have a doctrine here. Grand battle plan. The entrenchment's not really what we're looking for. Mass assault doesn't make any sense. But here's the thing: if we want to go through doctrine of our own, we want to go for, let's say, heavy tanks. If we want to become like a very small but specialized tank nation, we might actually want to go for mobile warfare. I mean, 20% breakthrough, faster units. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to have a small contingent of infantry, which we've already have, and we're going to back that up with heavy tanks. I have no army experience. Okay, fair enough. But I think that's going to be our plan. Heavy tanks and a small infantry force. Of course, we're not building any heavy tanks. You know what? Air Force, we're going to allow for the Reichspakt and the rest of the Entente to kind of deal with that on their terms. Do we have any models? Any cool models? Heavy tank, heavy tank. Let's go with this heavy tank right here. Yeah, let's go with this heavy tank. Heavy tank turret. We'll go with the 3-man turret. Good breakthrough. I mean, it's a little slow, but I'm not really too concerned with its speed, to be quite honest. Throwing a heavy machine gun. All that seems fine. Radio is a small defense. A little bit of breakthrough is always nice. Armor goes down with small cannon. Doesn't one of you like a really big okay, your breakthrough is not as great as I remember it being. Defense 2, breakthrough +1. A little bit more expensive. 14.4, 15.3. The 20% armor bonus from 30 to 36. And your defense +25, breakthrough +15. You're also point. You know, let's add on a radio. Design is too expensive. Right, because we're actually getting 0.25 per day. That's actually very fast. So we're just gonna wait until we have 4 points here. Save that up. We'll start producing them when we can. I'm actually gonna take one-off rifles just to slowly start making these tanks. We're gonna put 3 factories on that. I think that seems okay. France has gone national populist. And I'm trying to remember Poland when they go monarchy. What route is that? Like, I don't actually remember exactly what they can do. I'm assuming they can kind of go Russia, Germany, or Austria. I think maybe they can go all routes, or maybe they just stay completely politically neutral. That I don't know yet. Excavation 2. You know what? Getting excavation for some of this stuff actually here would be really nice. Wait, Sydney has fallen? Oh, the French and Canadians have actually made landing. Huh. The Canadians are going to die here for sure. I'm actually really surprised they even made landfall. It's not something you see every single day. Okay, we'll get our gold here. 5% consumer good bonus is always nice. Cannot do you yet. I'm gonna see any other options. No, I think we're just waiting for these to go down. So until then, we'll do our military expansion. And I think with that, it's gonna be a good time for us to end this episode for today. So thanks to everybody for watching. My name is Anthem. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoying, thumbs down. If you want to super subscribe, and goodbye.